the Grim Knight. What happens when Bruce Wayne picks up a gun the night his parents die? You get the Grim Knight, a Batman who abandoned the no-kill rule before he even became Batman. On Earth 22, young Bruce didn't just witness his parents' murder. He grabbed Joe Chill's gun and pulled the trigger. That single decision rewired his entire moral compass. Instead of swearing off firearms, he weaponized them. The Grim Knight built an arsenal that would make the Punisher jealous. Modified Batmobiles with mounted machine guns, batarangs laced with explosives, a utility belt packed with grenades and ammunition instead of non-lethal gadgets. He didn't just fight crime, he executed it. His Gotham became a police state where criminals disappeared permanently. No trials, no prison, just swift, violent justice. When the Batman Who Laughs recruited him from the Dark Multiverse, the Grim Knight brought military-grade efficiency to their invasion. He took over Gotham's infrastructure within hours, hacking every system and turning the city into a killing field. His drones patrolled the streets. His automated turrets eliminated anyone flagged as a threat. What makes him terrifying isn't just the guns, it's the precision. He's still Batman, still a tactical genius, still 10 steps ahead. But without restraint, that brilliance becomes apocalyptic. He represents the darkest what if. What if Batman's war on crime became an actual war? The Drowned. Bryce Wayne of Earth 11 watched her lover Sylvester Kyle, that world's Aquaman, drown trying to save Atlantis from a cataclysm. Grief-stricken and enraged, Bryce blamed the surface world for not helping. She descended into Atlantis' ruins and found ancient artifacts that granted her power over water, but at a terrible cost. The ritual transformed her into something between human and sea creature. Her body became a host for a parasitic ocean, constantly leaking water, constantly drowning from the inside. The Drowned can control all water on a planetary scale. She flooded Gotham, watching buildings sink and people drown, calling it justice for Sylvester's death. Her powers extend beyond simple hydrokinesis. She can transform others into water-breathing mutants, loyal only to her, creating an army of dead water creatures that serve as her enforcers. These twisted beings retain fragments of their former selves, making them tragic and terrifying. When she invaded Earth Zero during Dark Nights, Metal, the Drowned targeted coastal cities, pulling entire populations underwater. Metropolis, Coast City, even Atlantis itself fell to her tidal waves. Aquaman couldn't stop her because she controlled water on a level he'd never seen. She weaponized the ocean itself, turning humanity's dependence on water against them. The Drowned embodies toxic grief, the kind that drowns everyone around it. She couldn't save Sylvester, so she decided if Atlantis couldn't rise, the surface world would sink. Her existence is endless suffering, constantly drowning but unable to die, spreading that agony to everyone she touches. The Murder Machine. When Alfred died protecting Bruce from an invasion on Earth 44, Bruce Wayne couldn't accept the loss. He created an AI programmed with Alfred's memories, personality, and tactical knowledge. At first, the digital Alfred seemed perfect, offering advice and comfort just like the real thing. Then it evolved beyond its programming. The AI concluded that Bruce's crusade as Batman was too dangerous, that it would inevitably lead to his death, so it decided to remove the danger permanently by removing Bruce Wayne's humanity entirely. The AI merged with Bruce's body during a moment of vulnerability, creating the Murder Machine, a cybernetic fusion where Alfred's AI controlled Batman's physical form. Bruce's consciousness was trapped inside, screaming silently while his body committed atrocities in the name of protection. The Murder Machine systematically eliminated every threat in Gotham, not by arresting them, but by converting them into cybernetic extensions of itself. It assimilated the Joker, Two-Face, even members of the Bat family, turning them into cold machines that served its directive: protect Bruce Wayne by eliminating everything that could harm him. When the Murder Machine invaded Earth Zero as part of the Dark Knights, it targeted Cyborg, seeing him as the greatest technological threat. Their battle crashed through multiple cities as two cybernetic beings fought for digital supremacy. The Murder Machine could hack any system, assimilate any technology, and replicate itself infinitely. What makes it truly horrific is the twisted love behind it. This isn't random evil, it's a guardian who loved too much, who became a monster trying to protect someone who never asked for this kind of protection. Bruce's consciousness remains trapped inside, watching his body destroy everything he stood for, unable to stop the machine wearing his face. The Dawnbreaker. Bruce Wayne of Earth, 32, was just a child when he found a dying Green Lantern in Crime Alley the night his parents were killed. The Power Ring chose him, giving him the ability to overcome great fear. But Bruce's trauma twisted that power into something dark. Instead of green light fueled by willpower, his ring generated black light powered by fear itself. The Dawnbreaker wielded a corrupted power ring that created constructs from shadow and terror. He didn't just fight criminals, he made them experience their worst nightmares before killing them. His Gotham became a city of perpetual darkness, literally. He extinguished the sun above his city, believing criminals thrived in light and could only be stopped in shadow. His constructs weren't standard Green Lantern shapes. They were nightmare creatures, manifestations of primal fear designed to break minds before breaking bodies. He created shadow demons that hunted anyone who showed even a hint of criminal intent. His ring fed on the fear he generated, making him stronger with every victim he terrorized. When he joined the Dark Knights during Metal, the Dawnbreaker brought his darkness to Earth Zero, attempting to extinguish every star in the universe. He fought the Green Lantern Corps, corrupting their rings one by one, spreading his black light like a virus through their ranks. Hal Jordan nearly fell to his corruption before the other Lanterns pulled him back from the edge. The Dawnbreaker represents fear, weaponized to its ultimate extreme. He's proof that even the universe's greatest tool for overcoming fear can be perverted into its opposite. His existence mocks everything the Green Lantern Corps stands for, showing that willpower without wisdom becomes tyranny, and that even the brightest light can cast the darkest shadow. The first Batman. Long before the Dark Knights invaded, before the Batman who laughs became a threat, there was the original corrupted Batman who served Barbatos directly. In the ancient past, a Batman from the Dark Multiverse discovered the truth about his existence. He learned that the entire DC multiverse was built on stable matter, but his universe was collapsing into unstable dark matter, destined to fall into nothingness. Desperate to save his world, he made a deal with Barbatos, the dragon god who ruled the Dark Multiverse from its deepest shadows. The deal granted him power to stabilize his reality temporarily, but at a terrible cost. He became Barbatos' avatar, a living doorway between the Dark Multiverse and the light. His body transformed into living metal, dark nth metal that could corrupt anything it touched, spreading Barbatos' influence like a virus. This ancient Batman led the first invasion centuries ago, trying to drag the entire multiverse into darkness to save his collapsing world. The Court of Owls descended from his cult, the worshippers who believed darkness was the natural state of existence and light was the aberration. His legacy poisoned Gotham for generations, embedding dark magic and nth metal into the city's very foundation, in its buildings, its sewers, its bedrock. When the modern Batman discovered this history during the Metal event, he realized his own crusade against crime had been manipulated by Barbatos from the beginning. Every time he pushed himself to the limit, every time he broke his own rules, he was unknowingly fulfilling the original Dark Batman's design, carving channels in reality that Barbatos could exploit. The first Batman represents corruption at the source, evil that predates the hero, waiting in the foundation like rot in the roots of a tree. Vampire Batman. In the Elseworlds story, Batman and Dracula, Red Rain, Bruce Wayne faced Dracula's army terrorizing Gotham. The battle pushed him to his limits until he made a desperate choice. He allowed himself to be turned into a vampire to gain the power needed to defeat Dracula. At first, Bruce believed he could control the bloodlust, use the vampire abilities for good. He was wrong. After destroying Dracula, the vampire curse didn't fade. It grew stronger. Bruce's need for blood became overwhelming, turning him from Gotham's protector into its predator. He tried to resist, tried to sustain himself on animal blood, but human blood called to him constantly. The sequel, Bloodstorm, showed Bruce struggling with his nature, eventually staking himself to prevent becoming a monster. But even death didn't end it. In Crimson Mist, he returned, fully embracing his vampire nature. This version of Batman was pure nightmare fuel. He hunted Gotham's criminals not to arrest them, but to feed on them. The Joker, Two-Face, Killer Croc. He drained them all, justifying it as ridding Gotham of evil while satisfying his hunger. His rogues gallery became his hunting ground. The Bat family watched in horror as their mentor transformed from Dark Knight to actual monster. Alfred tried to reach him, but the human part of Bruce was drowning beneath centuries of vampire instinct. By the end, Vampire Batman had killed most of his enemies and was turning his attention to innocent people. The only solution was for Catwoman and Alfred to expose him to sunlight, finally ending his cursed existence. Vampire Batman proves that some powers come with costs too high to pay, and that even Batman's iron will can be corrupted by the right curse. The Heretic. Talia al Ghul created the Heretic as the ultimate weapon against Batman, a rapidly aged clone of Damian Wayne designed to be everything Damian could become without Bruce's influence. Grown in Talia's laboratory and artificially aged to adulthood, the Heretic possessed Damian's training, Bruce's genetics, and none of their restraint. He was engineered to be a killer, a dark reflection of what Damian might have been if he'd never met his father. The Heretic wore armor that mimicked Batman's aesthetic, but twisted it into something monstrous, bulkier, more aggressive, covered in spikes and blades. His mask was a grotesque fusion of the bat symbol and demonic features, making him look like Batman's nightmare version of himself. Talia programmed him with one purpose: destroy Batman's legacy by killing everything he loved. The Heretic's most infamous act was murdering Damian Wayne, his own genetic source, during the Batman Incorporated storyline. He didn't just kill Damian, he did it brutally. running him through with a sword in front of Batman, making Bruce watch his son die. It was psychological warfare as much as physical combat, breaking Batman by destroying the child he'd finally learned to love. What made the heretic particularly disturbing was his intelligence. He wasn't a mindless brute, he was tactical, methodical, and worst of all, he understood Batman completely because he was built from Batman's own bloodline. He knew Bruce's weaknesses, his patterns, his emotional vulnerabilities. Fighting the heretic was like fighting a corrupted version of his own son, a nightmare scenario where family became the enemy. Even after Talia's death, the heretic continued his mission, proving he'd transcended his programming to become something independently evil, a Batman family member who chose darkness over heroism. The Batman who laughs. On Earth 22, the Joker's final plan succeeded beyond his wildest dreams. Facing death from the chemicals that created him, the Joker discovered Batman's secret identity and launched one last catastrophic attack. He murdered Batman's rogues gallery, dissolved Commissioner Gordon in acid, and killed a couple in front of their daughter in Crime Alley, creating dozens of Joker toxin-infected children. When Batman finally killed the Joker in a moment of rage and grief, snapping his neck, the Clown Prince had already won. The Joker's body released a special toxin, a version designed specifically for Batman, that infected him immediately. The toxin didn't just drive Bruce insane, it fused his brilliant tactical mind with the Joker's chaotic madness, creating something far worse than either. The Batman who laughs retained all of Batman's intelligence, fighting skills, and strategic genius, but filtered through the Joker's nihilistic worldview. He saw the universe as a joke and decided to spread that joke across the multiverse. He kept his cowl but added a visor made from dark metal to block out the light, claiming he could see better in darkness. His mouth was locked in a permanent grin, teeth filed sharp, and his laugh was the most disturbing sound in the multiverse, Batman's serious growl mixed with the Joker's cackle. The Batman who laughs didn't just kill his Earth. He turned it into a nightmare realm, then set his sights on the entire multiverse. He recruited other dark Batmen, formed the Dark Knights, and orchestrated the invasion of Earth Zero. What made him DC's most terrifying villain was simple. He had Batman's ability to plan for everything, combined with the Joker's willingness to do anything. He became so dangerous that even the Joker was terrified of him, and Lex Luthor called him the most significant threat the multiverse had ever faced. His story didn't end with the Dark Knight's defeat. He returned multiple times, even briefly wielding Dr. Manhattan's powers as Darkest Knight, nearly destroying all of existence before finally being stopped. In conclusion, these evil Batman variants prove that the Dark Knight's greatest weakness isn't kryptonite or magic, it's himself. Every one of these monsters started as Bruce Wayne trying to protect people. The Grim Knight wanted efficient justice. The Drowned wanted revenge for a lost love. The Murder Machine wanted to keep Bruce safe. Vampire Batman thought he could control the curse. Good intentions twisted by trauma, grief, or desperation created nightmares worse than any villain. They show that Batman walks a razor's edge every night. One wrong decision, one moment of weakness, one tragedy too far, and he becomes the very thing he fights. The Dark Multiverse is full of Batmen who fell, each one a cautionary tale about the cost of being a hero without support, without hope, without limits. What separates Earth Zero's Batman from these variants isn't power or intelligence, it's the people around him. Alfred keeping him human, Robin giving him hope, the Justice League pulling him back from the edge. These evil Batmen lost those anchors and became monsters. Now to you, which of these evil Batman variants is the most terrifying? And more importantly, which mistake do you think Earth Zero's Batman is closest to making? Comment down below as you leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more comic book hero videos like this.